Right, so Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler is happening. It is on the books. Conor McGregor is coming back. But I want to spend a few minutes just talking to you about why I think this is a good idea, but also why I think that Michael Chandler is actually not the best option for Conor McGregor's return. So, kicking it off, I'm sure you all know by now, like I said, he's coming back against Michael Chandler to coach The Ultimate Fighter, season 31, and after that, they will be fighting each other. And it will be around the summer. I think it's after International Fight Week. So, obviously, there are a few reasons that I'm very happy that this matchup has been made, and obviously. So first things first is I actually think it's quite a winnable matchup for Conor McGregor. And, I know because I can already smell the fucking dirty, stinky fanboys in every comment section saying that he won't have it anymore and all this sort of shit. Right, like, I don't know about you, watch a fucking Michael Chandler fight and he's just, there's a few things that you've got to take into account. His chin isn't the best. It's not glass by any stretch of the imaginations, but he can get hit and he does absorb that punishment pretty fucking not very well. Also, Chandler just fights like a spastic on the feet. I understand that he's big and powerful and strong and all that sort of shit, but he leaves himself open in so many exchanges. If you watch the fucking Gaethje fight or the Poirier fight, there's been so many instances where he's just left himself open on the feet, and someone who fights like Conor McGregor will just capitalise on that in an instant. So don't let the casuals and the Dagestani dick riders or whatever the fuck we're going to call them, make you think that Conor's washed and he ain't got it no more. I really think this is a fight he can win, due to the stylistic matchup. If Chandler was to implement wrestling, then I think Chandler would have a much better chance of winning. But it's not like Conor's counter wrestling's even bad. It took Khabib basically a whole fucking round to get him down, and Khabib's one of the best wrestlers the sport's ever seen. So I think Conor can survive some counter wrestling from Michael Chandler. And in addition to that, I shouldn't even have to be talking about that, because Chandler don't fucking wrestle, does he? He just stands up on the feet, just winging shots, looking for one big highlight reel KO. And I just think if you do that against McGregor, you're going to get punished. So it's not massively. Other than Justin Gaethje, who is just Michael Chandler with, in terms of a stylistic matchup, who is just a Michael Chandler with less power, because they both just swing like spazzes on the feet. Other than Gaethje, Chandler is the best matchup for Conor McGregor upon his return. Now, why am I not happy with this matchup? Well, you see, the whole point of this is obviously the whole point of Tough, really. We get some fucking, contenders out of it or whatever, is to build up a big fight, which the UFC hasn't done for fucking quite a while. We've missed out on really good potential Toughs. We could have had Colby, Masvidal, Hamzat and someone. You can have Costa on a tough season, against Izzy before that started. It's just things off the top of my head. But no, we get fucking Pena Nunes and the fucking ratings for it plummet. So I reckon they brought back Conor on Tough because there's been a massive, deficiency of Conor McGregor related content. So, and they're going to want to promote the fuck out of this fight because, like I said, they know that their pay-per-view numbers are fucking plummeting. We don't have stars. Israel Adesanya is not a star. Charles Oliveira is more of a star than Israel Adesanya if you look at how they're treated by their certain demographic, by their respective markets or demographics of markets. But like I said, the point of Tough is to get this big build-up into a fight and to give us weeks and weeks of McGregor content that we've all been missing out on for the last year and a half while we get the build up to this fight. And the moments that you want of him being angry or shit talking and stuff like that, this is why I don't like the Chandler matchup. The moments that you love about McGregor, where you get all this fucking this angry shit talking, he gets in someone's face and he pushes them and is witty comebacks, and there's a back and forth of verbal exchanges that McGregor gets on top of in the end, and just outwits a guy like he did on the come up and shit like that. You're not going to get that against Michael Chandler because he doesn't fucking trash talk. He's going to sit. I just watched the fucking UFC post on their Instagram. It's Michael Chandler talking about the fight between him and McGregor, and he just doesn't shut up about, oh yeah, man, I really respect him, and I gotta, I'm gonna be we're gonna be a war, and we're gonna go out and fight each other and it's respect. It's literally as boring as I just made it fucking sound. I don't want that. I want Chandler to fucking have a go at McGregor. There's so much shit you can kick off at him for. Chandler's not bringing up the fact that there was gay porn on McGregor's Twitter. He's not bringing up the fact that McGregor fucking is snorting coke on his yacht and cheating on his wife and beating up people. He's not doing any of that. He's just going to sit there and be respectful and go, yeah, man, well, I'm happy to be here, happy to fight Conor. Who doesn't love Conor? Like, imagine if he came back against. I know it's a long shot, but it's another really winnable matchup for McGregor. Imagine if there was tough with McGregor and Tony Ferguson instead. Imagine how much better the moments would be of, the back and forths between, McGregor getting mad and Tony's weird little antics and whatnot, and there'd be a lot more build up. There'd be a lot more moments that you'd be chuckling at and taking home with you and being like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened. If there's going to be anything memorable about the build up of this fight that's not just to do with like a McGregor interview alone, Michael Chandler will basically have to completely switch personalities and show us, show us something different and get, or show us the old Chandler that used to get really fucking angry and in people's faces and shit like that, like he was before he joined the UFC. So yeah, I just wanted to, run you through that. Like I said, I'm very happy that the matchup's happening. I think it makes sense because it's a winnable fight for Conor. The UFC know what they're doing. I think it's the second best thing he could have came. It's the second or the third best thing he could have came back to. The only thing better than that is Tony Ferguson or Justin Gaethje. Because Masvidal's booked, I always thought that was going to happen. But I just don't like the Chandler tough stuff. Like, what's he going to do? There's not. The whole point of tough is that we get these really cool moments of fighters going back and forth, and they can even make they even made Vulcan Ortega, that build up, remotely interesting. So I'm sure I'm sure the build up will be interesting, but it could have been so much better if it wasn't Chandler. He's just going to be screaming about, I don't know, motivation and pulling himself up by his bootstraps and not adopting white children and all that sort of shit. But that's just my little rundown of how I think the fight's going to go. Yeah, like I said, I think Conor would win. I think Chandler just leaves himself open on the feet to be hit way too much, and Conor can really capitalise on that sort of shit. And that is sort of my main argument for winning. Like, you can't tell me that Conor even looked bad in any of his last performances. He just lost both of them. I get that, but Poirier's a dog, so these aren't bad losses to come off to. But yeah, it's just it's a tough one, and I'm not really happy with Chandler as a tough coach. Tell me what you think in the comments.